Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do a really quick unhaul session with my bookshelves. I need some more space. There are a lot of books coming out this summer that I'm really excited about and that I really want to add to my shelves, but my shelves are not at capacity, but we're getting there. Obviously I could take like the decorations off and then there would be more space, but I really like the decorations and I'm not willing to do that yet. Plus there are some books that I have been meaning to get rid of for a little bit, so we're just gonna go through together. We're gonna see how much I can unhaul. I'm gonna set my timer for 10 minutes and we're just gonna see how much I can unhaul in 10 minutes, basically. So little short 10-minute video today while I feel like I wanna use the word declutter. We're gonna declutter the shelves. Okay, so ready, set, let's go. Okay, I'm gonna start up here with my nonfiction section and go through and see what I don't want anymore. I'm gonna try to only unhaul books that I've already read because I would like to give, even if I feel like I've lost interest with an unread book that's on my shelf, I would still like to give it a shot before I unhaul it. So I'm gonna try to only pull books that I've already read. I'm gonna start with Meat Planet, which is about artificial flesh. Sorry, I hate it too. And it was interesting. It was very academic. I will never reread this. I do not need to keep it on my shelf. Okay, I think that's the only book I'm gonna take from nonfiction. I did scan horror real quick. There's nothing I want to get rid of in horror, even though the likelihood that I'll reread them is low. I love my horror books deeply and I don't want to get rid of them, which would then take us into like the weird section where it's like extra books that I don't, which way am I going? Extra books that I don't really know where to put them. I'm also going to unhaul this copy of Persuasion. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Persuasion. It's one of my favorite Jane Austen books, but this is a former library copy and I would rather get like a pretty copy that I could potentially reread that's just in a little bit better condition. I'm also gonna unhaul Heart Haunt Havoc by Freydis Moon. If you've been on the internet, you know what's going on with this author. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I will link. Jess did a video really deep diving when this author was a mess 4 years ago and then what chaos they're up to now. So you can go check that out if you don't know what's going on. But I don't want this anymore, which bums me out because I like that book so much. And then I'm also going to unhaul these two Anna Lee Huber books, not because I don't want to read them, but these are like book 6 and 7 in this series and I haven't even read book 2 yet and it feels silly to keep these on the shelves when I'm like, I want to continue with the series but I haven't yet and I've wanted to continue with the series since I read book 1 like 6 years ago, and it just seems silly to have books that are so late in the series on my shelves when I would still, like, even if I read book 2 tomorrow, I would still need to get books 3, 4, and 5 maybe before I could even read these ones. So it's just silly, and I only bought these for like 50 cents each at a library used book sale, so it's not like, it's fine to get rid of them. If I continue on with the series and I end up loving it, I will be happy to either repurchase them on Thrift Books or Pango or buy them full price at the bookstore. Like, it's not, it won't be a big deal to me to repurchase them, but it seems silly to hold on to them in the hopes that eventually I will read them. I'm gonna get rid of these two novellas from Neon Hemlock. I bought both of these for, I think, Nebula reading projects, but it's And What Can We Offer You Tonight by Primi Mohammed, and then The Necessity of Stars by E. Catherine Tobler. I liked both of these, but they're not favorites. I will not reread them. I don't need to keep them. I'm getting rid of my TJ Klune books. Look, I loved this when it came out. I enjoyed this when it came out, but I've read a couple of TJ Klune books since then and I've DNF'd both of them, and I just don't think he is the author for me anymore. Like, yeah, he's just not, I just don't have any interest in his books. I don't have any interest in holding on to these. I would rather pass them along and then somebody else can read them. And this clears up a not insignificant amount of space on my bookshelf. Next, we're gonna get rid of The Scorpio Races by Maggie Stiefvater. I have read this. I read it quite a while ago and I liked it. I thought it was fine. And then I bought this at a library sale, mostly because I really wanted to buy a book at the library sale and it was like 50 cents. So I bought it, but do I actually want it? No. Am I gonna reread it? Probably not. And if I was gonna reread it, the first time I listened to it on audio and I really enjoyed the audiobook. So if I was gonna reread it, I would just listen to it on audio again and not read a physical copy. Also, even though this is, I think, YA, and yes, I do have almost teenagers, but like my taste in YA, my almost teens taste in YA, we do not overlap hardly at all, and I just don't think this is going to be something that they will want to pick up off the shelf. All right, I have 2 minutes left. Let's see if I can get maybe 2 more books. Do I get rid of these? I loved them when I read them, but I was a very different reader when I read them. Would I still love them? I have no idea. So I'm kind of torn on whether I just get rid of them or do I hold on to them and try to reread them and see if I still like them. And if I do, then they can stay. I don't know. I think for like nostalgia purposes and for like who I was when I first read them, I'm gonna keep them for a little bit longer, and I think I will eventually like try to reread both of these to see if I still love them. But my taste in romance has changed so drastically that I'm really trying to get rid of my romance books if I do not love them, and like me now that I don't love them as who I am now, who I am as a reader. Does that make sense? Okay, we're gonna say that makes sense. So these will stay. Okay, I am gonna unhaul both of these. I have read one of them. I've read Hunger Makes the Wolf, and it was just okay. It was just a 3-star, and I've been holding on to the second book in the duology for so long, and I have never felt compelled to pick it up. So I know I said I wasn't gonna unhaul books I haven't read yet, but obviously I've already kind of broken that. But I've put this on a bunch of TBRs, and I still don't feel compelled to pick it up. So I'm gonna unhaul them and hope that somebody else picks them up and really loves them. All right, that's the timer. It's been 10 minutes. Let me do one more like little perusal to see if there's anything else that like stands out that I don't want to have on the shelf anymore, and then we'll like tally up the books I'm getting rid of. Oh, Coldest Touch. That's right. I wanted to get rid of this. Not that I didn't like it, because I did. I like Isabel Sterling's brand of YA a lot, and I thought this was a not fun, but an interesting take on vampire mythology. But I'm not going to reread this. Like, if I'm going to reread an Isabel Sterling, I would want to reread the These Witches Don't Burn anthology, because I really, really loved that. Whereas this I just enjoyed, and I don't need to keep it. Now, you will notice I didn't touch my middle grade section. Those books are the ones that I have a really hard time getting rid of, kind of along with my romance novels. Getting rid of my romance novels is a little bit harder for me too, even though like I barely read romance anymore. But middle grade, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to go through that section yet. All right, so we have unhauled 15 books. Oh, that's my lucky number too. So that is great. Got some space cleared off, room for some of those sci-fi fantasies that I have pre-ordered over the summer. And it'll be nice to go stick these in some little free libraries around my town. I don't think I'll be putting any of these on Pango. I just don't feel like it's worth a hassle to put them up and sell them for like $5 and then I have to go to the post office. Look, y'all, Pango is great for a lot of things, but selling a book for $5 is not worth the trip to the post office. So these are just gonna go to little free libraries. So sorry, not sorry if you see something here that you wanted. Actually, leave a comment, because I am notoriously slow about getting things out to little free libraries. They kind of just sit in my car for forever until I remember. So if you saw something in here that you were like, hold up, I would 100% buy that book, let me know down in the comments, and I will put it up in Pango and let you know when it's there. But otherwise, I am happy to just throw these out into my community and let other people find them. If you made it to the end of this little video, thank you so much for watching and spending your time with me. If you want to leave an emoji to let me know you're here, let's do a trash can emoji, a garbage emoji. Is there a garbage or trash emoji? I feel like there should be. Maybe a raccoon emoji if there's not a trash or a garbage emoji. Anyways, leave something like that, and like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you in the next one.